Hey everybody, my name is Amy. Welcome back to my channel. I hope this light doesn't bother you, but I mean it really is quite back there. This is a channel about cross stitch, and I know you have not seen this face in a very long time. I just haven't been the best at making videos and getting things done. I'll make one and then say I'm gonna be on it and then just don't for a long time, and I really shouldn't be that way. I really miss Flosstube and being here and just doing all the things cross stitch related. I've been sewing a lot lately, doing some other projects here at my house, diamond painting. I probably diamond painted for a good 2 months straight, part of the time that I've been gone, and so it's just all over the place, and I should be sharing those things with you guys, and I haven't been. I don't want to say that I have any goals to make that better, but it's in my mind, right? Okay, so today is going to be something that I've talked about for a long time here on the channel, is my active WIP parade. And the reason I haven't decided if I'm going to do like a secondary WIP parade of all of the WIPs that I've started but aren't currently in my active rotation. And I don't know if I'm the only person that does this, but I have an active pile, and I'll put a picture here. It's not really a pile, forgive the ottoman that I've been using. My cat has taken to scratching it. I've had this ottoman for years, and he just started doing this the past couple of months. So I need to get that situated. I'll probably just get a new one because I get them at Walmart. They're pretty affordable. But inside that black ottoman is WIPs, and then obviously the basket on top is WIPs as well. So this video is going to just be the active WIPs, the ones that I continually pull out on a day-to-day basis. Occasionally I'll remove something from here and go pull from my like craft prison or my additional WIP stash, because I also have things that are kitted, things that are partially kitted, and then things that are already started but not currently in my active pile. I've had a few on my mind lately that I've been wanting to pull out again that I just haven't done yet. So we'll get there though, I think, right? In a way, this is going to be good because then I can pull some of this out and kind of organize it a little better, because my basket on top is a hot mess right now. You're going to see quite a few stamped cross stitch pieces, because I had gotten rid of all of my stamped cross I had gotten rid of all of my stamped cross stitch about 2 years ago, and only kept like a handful of ones that I had actively been working on, I think, honestly, too. And then somebody ended up gifting me several, and then I don't know what happened, but I ended up with, I don't know, an additional 4 or 5 stamped cross stitch pieces that I wouldn't normally have had. This year, I don't think I've purchased anything. This year, much anyway. I've purchased a couple, and it's probably in my last video, like the Barbie one, a Doctor Who one, and then the Part of Your World cell, which is the Little Mermaid one from, I believe, Story Stitches, that I'm still printing out over there. Haven't started it yet, so it's not going to be in this pile. But let's get to it. So the first WIP that I have that I pull out quite often is Leela's Studio Halloween Quaker. Now, I couldn't figure out why it took Michelle Bendy so long to do this, and it's because it's just dense. Like, it doesn't look like a lot in the photo, but each motif is super dense, and this is what I have done so far. There's some folds because of the Q-snap. No, I'm not going to iron things just to show them on camera. I am not that kind of person. Okay, call me a heathen. So not all of these are the original colors. Some of these, this is a Mystical Diamond Art floss, just other things that I subbed for because I didn't have at the time, so it'll look like this one day. You can tell you don't have anything on this side of the witch, any of this stuff. So there you have it. There is that. I've not worked on it since the last time I showed it, so just so you know. Okay, that's in my active pile. Sorry, didn't mean to get all up on my grill. Then I have Mini Heaven's Window. This is a Heaven Earth Designs by Andy Russell. This one I'm having a hard time doing because I started down here, and it's a lot darker than it looks in the image. So I've gotten to this little plant right here, And instead of like it being green, I'm seeing a lot of black and like 939, and so it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I know with Haid you're supposed to trust the process, so that's what I'm trying to do. If I can get this open. I literally have barely anything done on here. I like to fold my stitches inside the fabric instead of keeping them on the outside because, yeah. Okay. So that's all I have on that. So you can see that bush here, there's absolutely no green on it whatsoever. It's all like 939. And I've gotten like some pieces of gray, but again, I'm just going to trust the process. This has been a nightmare because it's been so confetti right here that it's just really pissing me off. Some of these I'm working on pattern keeper. Some of them I'm using paper pattern. Looks like this one I'm using the paper pattern. I personally don't mind the paper pattern most of the time, especially in the minis, because it's just easier for me that way. I tend to mess up more when I'm using pattern keeper, even though I do use pattern keeper. Oh, I don't want you guys to fall over if I do that. But also I can barely keep my phone charged. I cannot keep my tablet charged for the life of me. And then this, we lost the cord because my kids have no respect for chargers in this house, and they take chargers. So this is an old Kindle Fire, and it has that plug. It's not the USB-C, it's the original like tiny one. And when we first got this, that used to be some of the phone chargers back in the day, and they would take it, or the tablet chargers. So now this OG charger is no longer. I share a charger with this, with also my Insta360 camera and my Bluetooth speaker. What's a mom gonna do? But I still have it here, and it still works just fine. Literally the only app on there is Pattern Keeper, because I don't use it for anything else. MTQ snap. Okay, oh wait, I'll have that. So the next one is what's this called? Universal Monster Cell. This is the extended version. I've talked about this a lot. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. The original version is only this part of the castle, and I don't know which of these rooms are the original rooms versus the add-on rooms without looking through the file. I put it in this file just to keep everything organized because it is a lot of rooms. That's what that looks like. I hope I don't have to take this off the frame. No. And that's what I've gotten on there. So I get bored doing just the frame because I did that with the first one, the chopping mall. I did the entire frame and I was so burned out on it. By the time I got to the roof, I didn't want to do the roof anymore, like the top of the building. So what I did is I've partially started to get some of it out of the way. I've subbed a lot of the colors in this for things either that I already had or other things, because the original frame is just 310. So I subbed this for something else. You can see the variegation in the brown, just to make it look more like an old house, which I subbed it for, I think it's Gentle Art Espresso Bean. So I bought a bunch of those and hopefully it's enough. So there's that. It's one of my favorite pieces that I hope to finish one day, like all of the rest of this, you know? Like, what can you do? No idea where the thing is to that, or why that's even in here right now. Oh, it's right here. So this, I can't remember the name of the Etsy shop, but she has, let me see if it's on here. Creatively Crafting. So from my understanding, and don't come after me, she licenses Mandy Manzano for cross stitch. So I have the Jack Skellington like Story Keep version. I'm actually missing some floss on this one, so I'm going to pull that out so that I can do that. This is as far as I've gotten. I've started up in this corner, this top corner up here. And originally when I wanted to start it right away, so I only bought all of the blues in the pattern. But there's other pieces down here that I need to get, some of the darker colors that I need to get. That's why there's so many holes here. So hopefully I'll get those soon. Maybe I'll get them today because I literally have no plans today other than sitting here doing nothing. So there's that. Next we have a favorite, Gloria West's Dream of the Wolf Maiden. This is from Artisy. I used to do her diamond paintings. I had a license with her. Wonderful company to work with, her licensing agency, because we don't work directly with artists. This is as far as I've gotten on that. Not much, but it's got very confetti right here, and so I just kind of gave up for a few seconds, a couple months. So there's that one. That's also in my current WIPs. Also in my current WIPs, I have the floss list for this pulled out because I need a bunch. Is the Grand Library by Amy Stewart, another Haid. Beautiful piece. I've got the original version. I don't like minis of Amy Stewart's because the detail is severely lacking, in my personal opinion, and I won't buy them. And this is all I've gotten done on that, is just that top corner. I started on the top, usually mark it, did not mark it this time. I started on the top left corner in that first room with the dragon. So as soon as I saw this come out, I wasn't even going to wait for a max color version or a mini version or a super size version or a medium size version, because I knew I just had to have it in its original form. So there's that. This basket's almost done. Then I lost the bag to this. I think it's in my room actually. I don't know where they sent it to me for free. So not this summer that just passed, but the summer before in 2022, this company sent me a bunch of stuff for free. And not a bunch of stuff. They sent me several cross stitches for free to review. And this is where I've gotten on that. It's kind of hard to tell with the stamped cross stitch pieces where you stitched, but mostly this dark area here, this dark area here, all this yellow I think is like 939. Yeah, so I was just trying to get as much of that out of the way as possible. It's super confetti. You can see I've done a bunch of it right here, and honestly I kind of stopped because I can't tell what the heck I'm stitching in here. I keep looking at the image and like trying to, I didn't even show you just the image, trying to see if I'm doing it right. It is the TARDIS in the Van Gogh painting. That's from, well, Doctor Who. So I keep looking at this and making sure that I'm stitching the right color. I am. It just doesn't look, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about that. My next WIP is another stamped piece. It's got all these hot air balloons. Absolutely loved it. Mainly because it's got the New Mexico one here. And in New Mexico, they have the hot air balloon fiesta, I think they call it. And it's like a big thing. I've never personally been. I've always wanted to, and I just never went. So I got this. Again, this is another one of those trust the process pieces. And I'm hoping it turns out because the colors aren't as vibrant as they appear to be. So this is the whole entire thing, what it looks like. I'm going to fold the top down because I'm not doing the top at all. So I've gotten some stuff done here. I thought that I switched these colors on accident, but it doesn't appear that I did. Did this part, and then I've been working all along the bottom. This dark part I stitched. I'm coming up right here and doing some of this, and then just kind of working my way back and forth here. Yesterday, I just started working on filling in a lot of these gaps because it was very gappy right here. So yeah, that's all I'm doing here is just trying to work my way up. So I don't think you're gonna be able to see the Zia symbol on that balloon, but we'll see. And then also, like, I started doing this one and then trying to figure out these mountains right here because they don't look right. I've been stitching in hand, but I don't like the way the stitches look. And this part I stitched in a Q-snap, and these stitches look lovely. So I kind of want to put it back in a Q-snap to stitch, but it's so hard to stitch this in a Q-snap because this fabric is so stiff. It's hard to get the right tension, and I only have this size 11 by 11 Q-snaps. This is the strand that made me mad. It like knotted right in the center. I only have this size, and it doesn't fit this way very well in the Q-snap to give me enough fabric to create a decent piece of tension with. See how it just barely so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one yet, but that's what I was working on today. I'm probably going to stitch a little bit more here in a little while, and then that's it. What did I do with the box? Sorry, I'm not trying to get all in your face. And I know this angle is very weird. Okay, this little piece has been sticking out all crazy. Next thing I put a lot of work into this year is Long Dog Sampler's Pandemic. I'm not really into a lot of Long Dog Samplers. There's one that's like a winter version that I've been wanting to stitch, but I just haven't been able to find the right color combination that I've been looking for. I saw it once, and when I went back to get it, they didn't have it anymore. And the one that I wanted was actually at Hobby Lobby, and I no longer shop at Hobby Lobby, so there's that. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm up here somewhere. I think I've reached, I started here and I think I've reached this corner. The only thing you'll notice with Long Dog Samplers with their big pieces like this is there's two. So they have the inside, and then there's the inside edge that goes up around the pattern, right? Everything butts up against that, and then they create this double border around the edges, which I think is 2 or 3 stitches wide. I am not doing that border. I learned that the hard way when I started my very first Long Dog, which was Death by Cross Stitch, which I've since scrapped and plan to start over. No. Okay. So this one I'm gonna have to pull, please. So this is, yeah, this is the other corner of that side. Let me pull back the Can you see it? Yeah. That's as far as I've gotten on that. Okay. I can't tell, but it looks like you guys can see the whole thing, minus this fold right here. But so yeah, 2 corners done on there. Yeah, this is like 3 or 4 pages going across. Almost done with this piece, and then I will move down and start working on kind of like the middle parts. I did have to sew extra fabric onto this because it wasn't I couldn't get the tension I wanted in the thing. This one is actually stitched on the Stitch Me Ice Queen 32 count 2/2. Anything that was stamped is all probably 14 count, which isn't my choice because I don't like that. You have to do what you have to do sometimes. And then all of my Heaven and Earths, sorry, I'm very bad at this. All of my Heaven and Earths are either 28 count Lugana 2/1 tent or 18 count Ada 2/2. No, 2/1. So like the Glory West one and the Nightmare Before Christmas one, and the Mini Heavens window, those are all done on 18 count 2/1 regular. I felt comfortable doing it that way. I actually really love doing full coverage on 18 count 2/1. I just really like the feel of 18 count, working with 1 stitch at a time. like this. I just feel like it makes the picture come to, these are actually empty stitches, come together nicely. So I'll try to do better at that, because I feel like when it's just white Aida, I don't really need to explain the count to you guys, but I guess I still should for people curious, right? Okay. Well, this is something I was actually thinking about yesterday. So we've got I can't remember what this is called. Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. Looks like this. One of my favorite pieces. And it's kind of a bitch to stitch. So I am stitching this on, let's see, is it attached? I think it's attached still. No, it's not. It's another Be Stitch Me because I'm a Be Stitch Me snob. Shadow, 32 count Lugana. I'm doing this 2/2. So 32 counts essentially like 16 count. So it would work nice on a 16 count Aida, but I love Lugana. Very partial to Lugana and Jewel Blend. I started in the center-ish, kind of. And this is as far as I've gotten. So this is the center block. She was much bigger than I anticipated, right? I got really bored stitching this and then moved down to this insane block right here. I don't think I'm done. The rocks are done and this bottom part is done. But there's something here like a ghost, and I don't remember if there's anything here. Yeah. I'm stitching this with a combination of CXC and DMC, mostly CXC because I ended up purchasing a whole set and I don't like being wasteful. I used to think that I loved CXC, but I kind of don't. It's very frizzy when you're working with it. There's a lot of people who say that they can't tell the difference, and I just think it's varies by batch. The first time I tried CXC, it was fine. And it wasn't like the whole set, it was just like a couple of skeins and it seemed fine. I'm like, oh, this is great. And CXC is a lot silkier than DMC, and I don't know, but it just keeps frizzing up. The stitches are a lot puffier than DMC, so working them side by side, you can definitely tell the difference between like these grays that are all CXC and then my 310 here that's black. And yes, her sleeves are different colors in the pattern. I don't know why they're different colors here. I think one's intended to be a shadow and one's not, but they're charted that way on the pattern. You just can't see it as much on the pattern as you can here. And I think again, it's because I used CXC and then all my 310 is DMC, just because DMC 310 is more consistent than the CXC, and that's another problem that I have with the CXC, is that it's the consistency, and so that's why I've stopped buying it. This is one of the only patterns that it's like the majority of the patterns done in CXC, but I will no longer be doing that. I honestly think I got rid of a lot of my CXC. I do have a bunch because I do have a full DMC set of skeins still that I'm just gonna deal with, but yeah. Pretty much anything new that I start is going to be the majority of DMC thread from here on out for the rest of my life, even though my stash will outlive me. Also, Sullivan's, didn't like that either. Did I say this one was called Shadow? Love it. One of my favorite pieces. I love working on it too. No. Okay. There's that. Let me put my hair up. Hold on. It's bothering me a lot. Okay. No idea what this is. About to find out together. I feel like this is, oh, it's Pixel. Pixel 2021. Shows you how long I've had it. Came out in 2021, so it was like the whole year. And this is like gaming things. You've got some like very old school games like Super Mario, or actually Mario, Final Fantasy. I don't know why I did that. I think I need to go back and do that. You've got some Kirby in here and some Pac-Man, a lot of OG stuff, Duck Hunt, stuff like that. This I'm doing on a leftover piece of fabric, Silvery Moon Lugana from Witchelt, I think. Originally bought the Silvery Moon Lugana for my chatelaine, and then I ended up having this whole cut left over, so I decided to do the pixel on it because it's such a huge piece and I'm not going to waste it. So let me fold up this bottom part, see if I can keep it. That's what I have. So it's backwards. It goes like this. This is the top, and I believe I've gotten to the bottom. So up here, I don't know what it says. It's like high score, 20, 21 or something like that. Room here, room here, room here, room here. And yeah, I'm just stitching the blocks. I actually don't mind stitching the blocks. It's actually quite fun. I think it's because they're all different colors that I can vary between going with the 310, stitching a couple of squares, and then going back and filling them in. Also, every block is the same. So I literally don't even have to look at the pattern. I just need to see where my blocks are going, and that's it. And then I can just stitch everything else from memory because there's no variation to the blocks at all. This is one of the first project bags I made where I didn't line the liner, if that makes sense. Okay. Ugh, something I still haven't finished. This other ink circles all together now. Is the only one that I have left. I did this one already, and I did this one already, and I've already given both of those to my sister. And I had intended on making all of them for her and giving them to her as a set, but I ran out of time the original year. I think it's been like 3 Christmases now. This is the 3rd Christmas, I want to say, since I've given them to her. She still has them. I still have the matching frame for it even because I bought them at the same time a couple years ago. And this is where I am on that. So I still need all the swirls in the background, all the swirls here, and then I gotta fill in. Oh no, I already did that. I switched a lot, some of the colors, because I did it just based off of what I had at the time. It's still all fancy floss, but it's not what's called for. It's just a mix of Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and Victorian Motto. So there's that. Then we got, oh, this is the one I was thinking about. Oh, what's wrong with this zipper? Another project bag I made, Cocoa. I love Cocoa. And then this inside's just ink. My problem is I don't pay attention to which way the zipper faces, and so all my zippers are different directions. Working on that. Just hasn't been my goal, and since I only make my bags for myself, I don't really care. Winter Geisha. So I bought this when we were doing the hashtag Stitch Asia to support Asian culture. Later, it was to support Asian designers. So then I bought Cottage Garden samplings, Halloween samplers 1 and 2, and a couple of other things. So first, I love Cottage Garden samplings, and then the designers of Asian descent as well. So here's that, because Joan Elliott is not Asian. So there's that. And this is where we are on that. So I started kind of in the center. So you can see her stick right here. That's where I've done this purple triangle is this purple triangle. So I've gotten part of her sleeve done. I started almost as dead center as I could, like, I don't know, here somewhere, and this is what I've gotten. There are a couple of gaps in between. I don't know why. Oh, those are beads here that I haven't done. I do have the entire set. I just don't have, I'm not putting the beads in until last because I don't want them to get messed up in the Q-snap. I do print a working copy. Yes, have these. I do print a working copy of all of my patterns so I don't mess with the original. But a lot of the time I do keep the original in the bag because nothing happens to it and I don't really travel much with my pieces. So there's that. Victorians Across America, Debbie Patrick, absolute love. I have a whole entire binder full of her patterns. This is the Winchester Mystery House. This is the one and only piece of hers that I've started, even though I've got probably 30 of her patterns. This is the Winchester Mystery House as it was originally built. Had a red roof with yellow, I don't know if they were bricks or like yellow walls. It smells like something very fruity in there. I did not make this one. I ordered this one, but this is my problem with these bags, that I don't like the vinyl fronted bags because these bend because the vinyl is so thick that when you store them standing in any, like you can see I've had it stored this way, I've had it stored this way, it bends the edges. So then they're just all bent like this all the time. And so I stopped buying vinyl bags or even attempting to make vinyl bags because if I don't like them, why am I gonna waste my time? And this is all I've gotten. I wish I could say I've gotten more done on this piece because I absolutely love working on this piece. But yeah, this is done on Be Stitch Me's blue in 18 count Aida. So there's going to be some back stitching, but there are no fractionals as far as I can tell. In this piece, it just has a lot of back stitching over full stitches, which I'm guessing would mask the full stitch into being a fractional stitch instead of making a fractional stitch. Lots of blends, which Debbie Patrick does. They remind me of the original Teresa Wentzler's that are actually hand-drawn, because a lot of the back stitching on here is all hand-drawn. On here you can see, like, I don't even know what all of these symbols mean yet because I haven't gotten there. But yeah, so you can see everything's hand-drawn, and so I just hope that I'm able to read all of that. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. I actually think I'm missing some floss for this. Where's the thing? Oh, so this is one of the blends that it called for, is 3011 and 934. This is one of the blends. So I just took a Post-it, and with the sticky side, I folded it and folded the bottom up to create like an envelope. So that's one of the blends already mixed that I needed for the roof. But where is the... I can't find the freaking... Shoot. I'm gonna have to go through this because I can't find the thread list. So I'm gonna have to make a new copy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new copy of this and go through these threads. I'm going to leave this out so I can do that. Also, I didn't tell you guys that the Winter Geisha is also stitched on a Be Stitch Me fabric. April Showers, 32 count Lugana. This was one of her fabric of the months when I used to get her fabric of the month. I probably got her fabric of the month for like a year or two. But I stopped just because obviously I'm not, well, I may be starting 12 new pieces a year. I'm not finishing 12 new pieces a year, and it was just enabling me. And I have a ton of, I have a whole fabric bin. Yeah, this is another piece that I got from I can't remember because there's no labels on it. I don't know where the packaging is. I don't know if I got this for free or if somebody sent it to me. But it's like this girl with some owls. I have seen this before. I don't know who the artist is, but I do feel like it is a copyright. I have no idea where this came from. It could have been from one of the companies like Everyday E-Deals last year when I was partnering with them. I honestly can't remember. Oh, you can see a better picture of it right here. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful image. And this one you can't really tell what I've gotten done. A good chunk of it, actually. I don't even remember working on this much. This is another one that I had in the Q-Snap. Because it just works up so nicely in the Q-Snap. So there's that. I think, honestly, I think I'll go to this Michael's and buy a smaller Q-Snap. And then, last but not least, in my active whips, because this is forever an active whip. This is in a mandrake, excuse me, a mandrake zipped pouch that I got in one of the Harry Potter boxes, which in a couple weeks the next box is going on sale. And I'm so nervous because budget is super tight right now. This Ada is a little dirty, not gonna lie, but that's okay. I'm looking for the cover. Harry Potter book covers by Fox and Teacup Designs. I have no clue if this pattern is still available. I had it linked in a bunch of my videos for the longest time, for like a year or two, because everybody kept asking like where this pattern was from. It should, if you go back to some of my older videos, a link should be there, but I don't think they call it this anymore. I think it's just called book covers. I am stitching the She Who Must Not Be Named version, so there's no name on this. I'm fully I don't know how to word it. Like, I'm always wanting to give credit where credit is due, but we all know what happened with this, and this was just such an integral part of my childhood that I can't let it go in a way that I normally would. So that's the version of that I'm stitching. I have no idea what piece this went to. That's gonna have to stay out. This is where I've gotten on it. I've gotten books 1 done, almost done with book 2, and then book 3 is started, probably a third of the way done with book 3. I'm doing that because that's where the page ends. I know some people do like the book only, like all book 1 and then all book 2 and all book 3. My problem with that is that these span multiple pages. So this is literally like 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, and I'm not going to be splitting across. Like, this would be page 1 and this could be page like 15. I'm not going to do that because of how they go this way. Not doing it. So I'm just going in order that makes the most sense to me without confusing myself. So there's that. Also have another chocolate frog needle minder from the Harry Potter boxes, Black Needle Society. You make that. So yeah, favorite piece. Absolutely love the way this is stitching up. The color scheme could have been better. I'm sure she's rendered this into a newer, nicer version now, but I'm already dedicated all this time. I'm not going to start a new one. I am stitching this in, I don't know, honestly. I got everything's already separated. It's probably a mix of DMC and CXC as well. Yeah, I can tell. I think Amy gifted me these Fat Quarter Shop dead drops, and then I have the Harry Potter ones that came in the Frogwarts boxes. These are freaking awesome. So yeah, that's what that looks like. One of my favorite pieces. The letters, if you look closely, like the coloring is just not, like there should not be pink and purple here. Had I have realized what I was doing, I would have done it with like a dark gray outline instead, or kept with the original gray. Like the R's look much better. The H is okay. I could have done without these like orangey and gold bits here. But I was just sticking to the pattern, and sometimes when you're up close you can't really tell what you're stitching until it's already stitched, and yeah, so I'm just gonna keep with it. The green looks much better, I will say. I made no changes to that either, it just is that way. So that. This is a very well made bag. We have another one. The Prisoner of Azkaban one is a huge, it's just like this. And it says Azkaban Prison, and it's got like the code on it, or it says Azkaban something, it's dark, and it's got the Azkaban Prison number on it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Really cool. And, oh, I have one more. Uno más. I don't think I have a picture of this. Darth Vader. Like this. Pretty sure I have everything for this one in this bag. Started it. It's a very difficult pattern because it's so much 310 that sometimes the boxes are a little difficult to count. A scrap piece of Silvery Moon Lagana. I thought that was the best thing to stitch this on, and that's all I've done. No idea if this is the right direction or not. Huge chunk of just 310. This is how big it is. So I mean, it's not going to be huge. It's the 32 count Silver Moon Lagana, so that also shrinks it down a little bit, versus if I was doing it like on Ada or something. Got this off of Etsy. It says embroidery for kids art. It's just one of their digital renderings. It says on 14 count this would be 17 by 10 inches. On 20 count this would be 12 by 7 inches. I'm doing this 16 count. 15 by 9 is what it's going to be, which isn't huge. It's also not the smallest either. So there's that. Actually, no, this is not Silver Moon. This is a small cut of this Artiste 32 count Murano Carré in Ice by Zweigart. This is Artiste, is Hobby Lobby's brand, so obviously this is when I was still shopping there. There are a lot of things that I have gotten rid of, but if I've already spent money on it, I have it. I have a bunch of these small cuts of this $6 fabric like this that I did purchase from Hobby Lobby, and I already bought them. I'm not as so savage that I'm just gonna throw them away like I saw some people doing. I work hard for my money, and I can't afford to be throwing it away like that. Just FYI. Alright, that's it. That's my active WIP bins, my active WIP piles. I'm going to fix this, and then I'll put a picture of it at the beginning when I talked about it again. Don't mind the cat scratches on the bin. I think there's one corner. No, he's gotten all 4 corners. Just because when he first started, I rotated it, and then that just allowed him to get the other corners. So yeah. I do need a new one because the wood's exposed. At this point, all that's keeping it together is the lining on the inside. What can you do? But anyway, that's my active WIP haul. I hope to see you guys next time. It's already 45 minutes long, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what else you want to see.